How is Janet and Charcot's work relevant to PTSD today? Imagine a time when understanding mental health was just beginning to take shape. That's where Jean-Martin Charcot and Pierre Janet made their mark. They were pioneers in exploring how trauma affects the mind, laying the foundation for what we now call post-traumatic stress disorder. Charcot, a neurologist in the late 1800s, studied patients with hysteria and noticed that emotional shocks could cause symptoms similar to neurological problems, even without physical injury. He used hypnosis and careful observation to uncover how the subconscious mind reacts to trauma, showing that emotional distress could produce lasting physical-like symptoms. Charcot also challenged the idea that only women could develop such symptoms, demonstrating that men like soldiers and workers could also be affected. Pierre Janet, influenced by Charcot's work, took the understanding further by exploring dissociation. He described how traumatic experiences could cause parts of the mind to split off or become disconnected from conscious awareness. This dissociation helps explain symptoms like memory gaps, feeling detached from oneself, or emotional numbness, hallmarks of modern PTSD. Janet's ideas suggested that trauma could lead to a breakdown in how the mind processes and adapts to stress, which is still a core concept today. His work showed that traumatic memories might be stored separately from normal consciousness, making them hard to access but still impactful. Together, Charcot and Janet introduced key ideas that are still relevant. They showed that trauma could produce symptoms that look neurological but are rooted in psychological processes. They explained dissociation as a defense mechanism, how the mind protects itself from overwhelming stress. Their research highlighted that trauma effects aren't always visible through physical injury but can deeply affect mental functioning. These insights influenced later theories, including Freud's psychoanalysis, and helped shape the official recognition of PTSD in medical manuals. Janet's focus on dissociation and trauma responses anticipated many aspects of how we diagnose and treat PTSD today, especially understanding how traumatic memories are processed and how dissociation can interfere with recovery. In essence, the work of Charcot and Janet provided the first scientific clues that trauma leaves a lasting imprint on the mind. Their pioneering ideas continue to inform current research, diagnosis, and therapy for trauma-related disorders. They helped shift the view of trauma from being seen as purely physical or moral weakness to a complex psychological response rooted in the brain's response to extreme stress. For anyone seeking to understand how trauma impacts mental health, their contributions remain a vital part of the story. Always remember, if you or someone you know is dealing with trauma, consulting mental health professionals is essential for personalized care.